Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy, Shermaine, aka Terry McGinnis, and I'm coming at you with a KI vid. And my friend brought this up to me, and I kind of want to talk about it and definitely get your guys' thoughts. And he asked me, or he told me, actually, he told me as if it was stated universal fact that Killer Instinct is an easy fighting game. Now, I kind of sat and I was thinking to myself, you know what, is this game easy? And the answer I came up with is yes and no. The reason why is there's multiple aspects of the game that make it simple yet very complicated. For instance, the combo system. It's very easy to pull off a combo. All you need is an opener, auto double, linker, and an ender. Or you can keep going as much as you want. But now when you think about it, the permutations you can come up with for a combo are a shit ton. Because obviously you have to pick the strength of your auto double, the strength of your linker. You can throw in shadow moves, or shadow linkers I should say, and then manual, so it gets very, very in depth. And I was thinking, yeah, like that's pretty complicated. Like you can do, yeah, it's easy to do a combo, but it can get very, very difficult to do a combo and to break a combo at the same time. And it's kind of weird because there's an arcade here where it's like mostly fighting games, and most of the guys that I talk to don't play Killer Instinct. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why? And I understand some people don't have the money to buy a new console, some people don't want to buy a new console. But even those who do say they don't play Killer Instinct. And I'm like, wow, man, that's kind of weird. And, when he brought that up to me, and I thought to myself, easy fighting game? Now, when I think of easy fighting game, I think of Mortal Kombat 9 on last gen. To me, that's an easy fighting game. Injustice is an easy fighting game. Relatively easy, I should say, because Injustice to me can go very, very in-depth, a lot more in-depth than Mortal Kombat 9 can. And the reason being is, like, it's a 4-button fighting game. Not only that, and in Mortal Kombat, it's almost like, and in Injustice, you have the moves do themselves. You just have to press it 1, 2 times, 3 times, X, X, Y, X, X, A, or, anything like that. And the move already does it for you. And I'm like, well, that's pretty fucking easy, because anyone who doesn't understand, or who's like a beginner and knows extreme basics, obviously, overhead beats a crouching attack, you know what I mean? Like, say with Batman, you can do his back XXY, back 112. It's a low into an overhead, and he can be crouching the whole time. That move just beat him for you. You really didn't have to do much to outsmart him or anything like that. With like Killer Instinct and like Street Fighter, you have to outthink your opponent. You have to. It's not like when I think of Mortal Kombat, you can have a character whiff and then do your combo. That's all the fighting games. But like with Mortal Kombat, you can be like Scorpion or Sub-Zero and just spear or freeze and then go up and uppercut or do like AAB or something like that. And that's really easy. Like, it does the work for you. It's like there's not a whole lot of skill into that. It's just kind of guessing when your opponent is not going to block or anything like that. That doesn't take a whole lot to me. With like Street Fighter and Killer Instinct, like, you have to outthink your opponent. You have to find that opening that they present to you at a precise time. Hit him with the right attack, and then in Killer Instinct, go into your opener and then do your deal. And then with Street Fighter, you have to do your attack of whatever, low forward or low short or whatever, into another attack, and then FADC, all that stuff, and that gets really complicated and whatnot. And I feel like that's like the same thing in Killer Instinct. And I mean, you have certain characters that have command overheads, like Jago has the net cutter. It's a command overhead. If that hits, then you can go right into an opener and start doing your combo. So that's no big deal. But like in other games, like that, I mean, that doesn't. And in like Mortal Kombat and Injustice and stuff like that, that's not in there. Same thing with the old Mortal Kombats back in the day. It was like there was no, like, to me, there was not a whole lot of skill involved in those, because you can't really cross up somebody. You can't do anything super sophisticated. It's just a sweep, or you hit them low, freeze them, and try to do something else, or teleport punch or something like that. That's not very in-depth to me. That's an easy fighting game. Now, when I think of hard fighting games, I think of, like I said, Street Fighter. Like, it's easy enough for people to go in and jump in, but it gets really, really in-depth. Really, really in-depth. And especially with Marvel vs. Capcom, that series, holy shit. Not only do you have to manage 3 different characters' health bars, you have a big pool of meter that you have to use effectively to beat your opponent. With not only with that, you also have assists, you have advancing guards, all that stuff. I don't really play too much Marvel vs. Capcom, so with advancing guard, it's like something really, really simple. Forgive me, but you have a lot of stuff that you have to take care of. And Tekken as well, where you have See, the same thing, you can probably say that about Tekken. Oh, it does the combos for you. That may be true, but there's no special moves in that game. There's nothing like that. It's just you versus him. You're trying to find an opening. Frame data is huge in those games. Huge in those games. To me, it's not very big in Injustice or Mortal Kombat 9. Tekken is fucking crazy. It's a 3D fighter, not only that, so you're constantly moving around. Same thing with Dead or Alive. And King of Fighters and Soul Calibur and all those are tough fighting games. Those are hard fighting games to be like legitimately good at. Killer Instinct, I would consider myself pretty good. Obviously, I haven't played in a while. I don't really play that much very often. But at one point, you know, I was very, very good. I shouldn't say very good, but I was very good. I was very good. I wasn't very, very good, but I was very good. And I considered myself to be pretty good. I could handle myself with almost any character against anybody online unless they play a shitload more than me. And I was like, all right, man, I'm pretty damn good at this game. And same thing with Injustice. You know, I spent a lot of time in learning in all the characters, but I just am not good at Street Fighter. And Marvel vs. Capcom, that series, that's just too much for me. There's too much happening on one screen for me to deal with. You know, those games are hard games. Those aren't easy. Like Third Strike, that's not an easy game. Street Fighter 4, I think it's easy to get into, but once you try to like learn, that's when it gets hard. Marvel vs. Capcom is a very difficult fighting game, I think. King of Fighters is the same thing. I haven't played King of Fighters, but I've seen video footage. It's difficult. Same thing with 3D fighters, Dead or Alive, and Tekken. Those are hard fighting games. Now, I would say that Killer Instinct it's about, I would say 65-35. 65 being yes, it's a hard game. 35, no, it's an easy fighting game. So that's my opinion on it. Let me know what you guys think, especially from Killer Instinct fans and people who actually play Killer Instinct and play, you know, maybe not on a daily basis, but who play it, who have enough exposure to say, you know what, okay, this is what I honestly think of the game. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'm out. Peace. Thank you for watching.